fam! Welcome to Skill Tree, where we learn how to do just about everything. So we find ourselves just in the thick of the holiday season. Everywhere we go, there are the sights and sounds and smells of the holidays. And smells this year for me are actually a thing. So due to the various weird things I'm into, I've broken my nose like a bunch of times, and I suffered for years from a really badly deviated septum. Which means I just couldn't smell anything. It was always like completely blocked up, and like I was a total mouth breather when I slept. It was horrible. But recently I had the corrective surgery. In fact, I was on camera a lot during this stretch of time with my nose all janked up, but due to makeup and gumption, you probably weren't able to tell. But long story short, I can smell, and it is amazing. Like, food tastes different, and the world has an aroma, and it's incredible. So with it being a holiday season and I have this new seeming superpower of being able to smell things, I decided it was the perfect time for us to learn how to make a scented candle. I can smell that. It's so good. Just give me a moment, hold on. I made this and it smells of cinnamon and honey and gloriousness. And by the end of this episode, you will know how to make this too. That's right, we will learn how to make our own custom scented candles to give as gifts or to decorate your home. So without much further ado, let's level up this skill. Gathering materials. So one of the best things about this project is you really don't need a lot to get started. In fact, all you really need is some wax, a wick, and a jar. And also whatever kind of fragrance you want to give it if you want to give it a smell. For my jar, I secured this fancy looking one with the lock on it. I really love the look of these jars. I think that little added extra locking hardware on it, though completely unnecessary for our purposes, looks really cool. Whatever jar you decide to use though, do take note of how big the opening is. This is gonna come into play when you're choosing your wick. Now to hedge my bet, I picked up these two different sizes of wicks here. This one's considered a medium, and this one here is a large. And this is important because depending on how much surface area of candle you have, if your wick is too small, you're gonna kind of just burn a hole in the middle of your candle and not touch any of the wax around the sides. And if it's too big, the flame is gonna be too large and you're gonna burn through your candle too quickly. Luckily, there is a rating on the back, so these large ones are the ones I'll use because they're rated for candles of 3.5 to 4 inches in diameter. And my container here just happens to be 3.5 inches in diameter. That being said, there's a bunch of different kinds of wicks and different ways you can place it. Like you can use the smaller ones for this, but put more than one wick in it, right? They also have like wooden ones and different other materials, so just do a little bit of research and see which one will work best for you. Now for wax, I decided to go with my tried and true beeswax. Mostly because I use it for a lot of other stuff around the shop. I use it to like seal woodwork or whatever. And it's natural, burns cleanly, and honestly, in this kind of economy, we need to make sure these bees stay employed. Gotta feed their families. Have a heart. Also, it just kind of has this natural sweet smell to it, and we've been using beeswax since antiquity for candles, so thought it was fitting. Now, because I'm lazy and impatient, I decided to go with these little pellets of wax. I just figured they'd melt way more quickly than the standard blocks that I usually use for other things. Like, look at this thing. This thing would take forever to melt unless I took a hammer and chisel to it, and that feels like a lot of work. I don't want to do that much work. I'm lazy. All that being said, beeswax is probably one of the more expensive options. There's soy, which is also all natural and burns clean and is cheaper than the beeswax. And there's paraffin, which I think is cheaper still and supposedly can disperse scent a little bit better. The downside to that is it's a product from refining crude oil, so it's not from a sustainable resource or particularly green, so it's up to you which way you want to go. And finally, as this is the season of warm, tasty snacks, for a scent I decided to go with cinnamon. These just come in these little vials of concentrated stink, but in a good way. Its deep notes conjure thoughts of cozy winters by the fire. Plus, it is the one that I wanted to drink the most, but won't. I would only make that mistake once. Never again. Cool, so now that we have all of our beeswax alchemy ingredients together, it's time to make a candle. So at this point, I've had many adventures with beeswax, and on those adventures, I've learned two very important things. The first being that beeswax is super flammable. When melting it, you do not want to put it anywhere near open fire. Instead, you're going to want to use a double boiler setup. This is just where you boil a pot of water and then you put another container in that pot of water, and that's what you melt in. The other thing I learned is that beeswax gets everywhere and it stays there. It is so hard to clean off once it's melted into place. So don't use any pots or anything that you or your significant other value. I'm not gonna say I've gotten in trouble for it before. I've gotten in trouble for it before. We have some really nice pots they'll just never be the same. So I ended up buying this Pyrex measuring cup just for these kinds of projects. I started by adding the wax to be melted into the container and place that into the boiling water. While we're waiting to do that, we're gonna go ahead and stick our wick into the jar. Now the wick has this cool little flat disc at the end to help it stay attached. I simply hit it with my hot glue gun and stuck it into the center of my jar, pressing it into place to make sure it's exactly where I want it to be. Now we need a way to keep that wick upright because nobody wants a droopy wick. For this, I just add in a support across the top of the jar and tape it into place. Now I can position it wherever I need it. Alright, so now as the wax melts, I bust out one more tool. This thermometer here is marked specifically for candles. Though that specialized of a tool really isn't necessary, you just need a thermometer that can keep track of the temp. Mostly because the scented oils you use have a bit of a flash point where if it's too hot, it's gonna release all the aroma and then your candle's not gonna smell like anything. Also, when you pour the wax, if it's too hot, it's gonna contract as it cools and it's gonna leave voids and pull away from the glass and just not look really good. So once the wax is completely melted, I let it get to 180 degrees, which is the recommended temperature for my cinnamon scent, and added about 1 ounce of that scented oil, mixing it in thoroughly. Then I took it out of the heat to let it cool down to the temperature needed to pour, which is about 160 degrees. Once I hit my mark, I added it to the jar in one even pour. If you stop in the middle of pouring it and then start again, the odds are there's gonna end up being a line where that pause happened. Not really a big deal. I don't think it'll affect the functionality of the candle. It just won't look as good, unless that's what you're going for. Also, do you see how opaque the wax is? I read that if it's super clear when you pour, then you poured it too hot, and when it dries, there's a possibility it's gonna leave those voids we talked about. While the wax is still melted, it's a good time to make sure your wick is exactly where you want it. Then just leave it alone while it hardens. Once it does, all you have to do now is cut the wick down to about 1/4 of an inch. And check it out, one fancy smelling candle of my own design. Only thing I haven't done yet is light it. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, and it smells of cinnamon and honey. This turned out really good. It was super easy to do. And from here too, if you wanted, you could decorate the jar it's in, which I just so happen to have a video about. But yeah, you can give it as gifts or whatever, make your own personal scents. Whatever, it's your candle. It smells so good. I'm just gonna keep this burning here for the rest of the episode. It smells nice. Alright, I hope you guys like this super simple holiday-ish project. If you did, why don't you hit me with that thumbs up, love, and do not forget to subscribe so you know when I release new content. Also, as I mentioned, I'm going to be taking a little bit of time off during the month of December. I'm still gonna have the quick skills every Monday, but these longer form ones I'm gonna skip for this month so that I can get ahead as we enter the new year. We're also gonna take some time to work on the channel art and all that kind of good businessy end stuff of this. I am super excited about the things we have coming up in the future. That being said, I may have to jump on at least once during the month of December because I've started getting weird packages in the mail. Some of you skill monkeys have gotten together to make a project for me and started sending me packages of them with express directions that I am not to open them until we get all of them together. Now, thus far, none of said packages are ticking, so I don't think they're bombs. Please don't send me bombs. But I am excited and nervous and super curious as to what's inside of this box. But at any rate, I'm sure I'll live stream or something when it's time to open them up. So that's probably the next time you're gonna see me in one of these longer form episodes. You guys are crazy and awesome. Can't wait to see what's inside. Speaking of my crazy awesome skill monkeys, I wanted to take a few minutes to show you some of the things they've been sharing with me on the Discord. We went ahead and put up a special area in the Discord just for dropping projects, and you do not disappoint. Look at how dope these projects are. As far as I'm concerned, this is the most talented community of people on the internet. You all continue to impress me every single day. Thank you guys for posting those. I really appreciate you sharing your projects with us. Speaking of appreciation, shout out to all my Patreon members. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do any of this or afford my delicious candle making materials. You keep the lights on, and I appreciate everything you do. Thank you so much. And if you like what we do here and want to support this channel, why don't you consider becoming a Patreon? Link in the description below. And finally, if there's anything you'd like to see me cover, why don't you leave it in the comments and I will add it to the list. Just so you know, the list is like way longer than this. This is just the first ones that I kind of show up, but there's like 200 things on that list now. You guys are gonna keep me busy forever. All right, well, I gotta get going. I also picked up some lavender oil for when I'm relaxing in the bubble bath with a book. In the meantime, keep leveling up, you.